All that's left of dozens of homes in north central Illinois after a line of tornadoes tore through the Midwest late yesterday.
Tornado! Got it. Oh my God! It's on the ground!
26 twisters touched down across 5 states, bringing up to 155-mile-per-hour winds, heavy rain, and hail. In Ottawa, Illinois, one of the 50 homes with significant damage belonged to Penny.
Had to get in the bathtub to survive. My roof is off. Trees are down, my car is wrecked. It's disaster. It looks like a bomb went off.
In Perryville, Missouri, this woman had to be rescued after a tornado barreled through her town, smashing cars, uprooting trees, and knocking this truck off the highway.
It's total destruction.
Sandy Johnson's lived here for 13 years. Although her dog was inside, she says she's just thankful her children weren't home when the storm hit.
That was a saving grace. That's where God stepped in and was like, no, can't have these kids go home. All right, my kids probably wouldn't be here.
Egyptian Christians are fleeing the Sinai in fear of their lives. The exodus comes in the wake of a video released by the Islamic State calling on its fighters to murder Christians. The region has become dangerous following a string of 7 gruesome killings in recent weeks, including a Christian man shot dead in front of his family inside his home last Thursday. Women are being threatened if they don't wear the Islamic body covering, and ISIS has set up checkpoints on roads near the Gaza Strip, forcing travelers to recite from the Quran. ISIS recently released a video saying they will kill every infidel and that Christians are their favorite target. Last December, they bombed a church in Cairo, killing 30 people.
There's no life for Christians there. They're thirsty for the blood of any Christian, so there's no way for any Christian to live in El Arish. They were pretty clear when they said, we won't leave any Christian in peace. They want an Islamic State.
Hundreds of Christians are fleeing with simply the clothes on their backs to escape that violence.
They're fleeing the terror group's last stronghold in Iraq. The escape from western Mosul so hasty, many residents leaving without shoes. Iraqi forces and civilians facing a fierce pushback from ISIS, who've controlled this city for nearly 3 years. Now, evidence of a possible chemical weapons attack. A rocket landed on our house, this mother says. It exploded and sprayed us with oily material. She, her children, and 7 other patients here showing signs of gas poisoning. An emergency response plan implemented by the World Health Organization is now in effect.
Some people have breathing problems like a spasm, like in an asthma attack, and the majority of the patient has developed different size of blisters.
The battle has raged for 5 months. The Iraqis are taking back the city, but the advance is slow. Workers with Preemptive Love, an American charity operating in Mosul, paint a dire picture.
The hardest thing that we're seeing right now across this conflict is hundreds of thousands of people besieged by ISIS, starving to death.
Thousands more remain trapped behind ISIS lines, waiting for any chance to escape.
Hillary Clinton just can't keep her mouth shut. Hillary is now backseat tweeting the Trump administration after reacting to a recent shooting in Kansas where the perpetrator allegedly shot 3 men after allegedly telling them to get out of his country. Of course, no rational Trump supporter condones this criminal behavior. In the words of Brooklyn Democrat Assemblyman Dov Hikind, where are the liberal leaders when Jewish cemeteries are desecrated and campuses are painted with swastikas and racial slurs? How are the leaders of Democrats communicating with and reining in their followers when these crimes are committed? It's simple. They're not. Instead, they found an easy answer. Blame Trump. Basing her illusion on the information of the ADL and the SPLC, Hillary tweeted, with threats and hate crime on the rise, we shouldn't have to tell POTUS to do his part. He must step up and speak out. This from the woman that refused to concede on the night of the election results.
Listen to me. Everybody should head home. You should get some sleep. We'll have more to say tomorrow.
But isn't Trump speaking out already? After all, isn't the global anti-Americanism, not to mention division and lawlessness in the United States, a direct result of Alinskyite Hillary Clinton's tenure as Secretary of State under 8 years of Obama's Cloward and Piven strategy? Remember this?
My wife's my faith, yeah. After my election, I have more flexibility. Yeah, I understand. I trust this to let you know that I understand.
This is what it really looks like when a president makes a deal with the Russian government, placing United States national security at risk. National Review wrote, in 2009, President Obama surreptitiously sent a letter to the Russians offering to cancel plans to install a missile defense site in Poland and corresponding radar apparatus in the Czech Republic. These would have provided an additional layer of protection for the United States and its allies from Iranian long-range missiles. The Obama administration did end up canceling the planned missile defense deployment, and the United States, to this day, remains underprotected from Iranian ballistic missiles, even as the Iranians exploit relaxed UN Security Council missile restrictions, thanks to the Obama administration, and continue to test long-range ballistic missiles. Stoking that fire, WorldNet Daily reported just as Iran announced the testing of a ballistic missile and the Trump administration reviewed plans for new sanctions, the rogue Islamic regime claimed that in nuclear negotiations, President Obama allowed Iran to have missiles that could strike Israel, flying in the face of national security. On February 5, 2017, President Donald Trump's ban on travel from Syria, Iraq, Libya, Yemen, Sudan, Somalia, and Iran was lifted by District Judge James Robart. Just 23 days later, the effects of Robart's politically motivated fumbling of U.S. national security is advancing towards the danger zone. Gateway pundits Jim Hoft points to a video revealing the intentions of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard's commander. Hassan Abbasi says, look how vulnerable you were on 9/11 when 4 Arabs from Saudi who don't know how to fight managed to endanger your foundations. Yet with us you face a nation even stronger. Don't forget we have 7,000 PhD holders in the U.S. Do you realize what we can do? We don't need nuclear weapons. You have 6,000 nuclear warheads. Those warheads are our target for our guerrillas to destroy. Not even an Iranian guerrilla movement, but we have people from all Islamic countries. You can deport them all, but we are working on the Mexicans and the Argentinians too. We will guide anyone who has problems with the United States.
And you could say very nicely that Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama gave us ISIS. Now we're trying to get rid of ISIS.
I suspect Hillary and Obama's hubris will eventually die out once they realize that America is too busy fixing the problems they create